We got a good one today. How to stop settling in dating and how to attract with your worth. So if you're tired of being in relationships and settling for less than you deserve, this is for you. This all started because I went on a date this week. And as you know, I'm Ashley. I'm a feminine embodiment coach. I help women align their life with their feminine energy, their business. And we are always deepening and growing. So I had an instance this week where I went on a date and it was beautiful, wonderful man. But I realized upon reflecting that I settled for a lot less than I deserve. I just feel like I deserve the world, which we all deserve the world, right? But I want to go into deeper aspects of like older me years ago that was settling even more for less than she deserved. So this is what really sparked this video. So if this is you and you are not happy in your relationship, you're not happy in your dating, we are about to rearrange your energy, honey. So let's start off with ways that settling for the bare minimum shows up in dating. And my doggies love to be around me every time I get on the floor and make a video. So you will probably hear them in the background. But a part of my work is allowing the chaos of babies and puppies and noise to be around us, because as we're in our feminine energy, we just allow the outside to be exactly as it is. We don't wait for perfection. So number one is settling for the bare minimum. There they go. You want a partner that's emotionally available, that prioritizes you, puts you first, but you're attracting men that barely text you, who doesn't initiate dates, and who also does not prioritize you. And instead of walking away from this type of behavior or attributes, you justify it by saying, oh, he's busy. Oh, at least he's not cheating. He's a good guy. Settling for the bare minimum. We are not doing that. And this is kind of like how my previous date was this week. This man is very busy. He really is very busy. But I should have probably cut the date off a little bit sooner, because I deserve a man that fully prioritizes me, right? So sometimes we don't see these aspects until after the date, but we need to be aware of them, because now I can fine tune, because everything else about him was beautiful and amazing. It has so many qualities that I am looking for in a partner. But we need to be able to reflect and fine tune to draw in the man that we truly desire. Number two is ignoring red flags. So some of these might look like he cancels plans last minute. He maybe talks about his exes in a not very nice way. He avoids deep conversations. This is a big one, ladies. Men that just always want to play and have fun and avoid deep conversations. This is a red flag. And then also a red flag is your gut being off and you not listening to it. A woman's intuition is so important. This is exactly what I teach in my feminine codes of love and dating, of how to use your body as an oracle of, is this man right for me? Number three is overgiving. You are the one planning the dates. You are the one initiating. You are the one making sure they feel loved. Maybe you're the one cooking dinner, or you're bringing him a gift. So if you're ever left feeling drained or unappreciated, this is you. Four is, I really just hope you already know this one, but tolerating disrespect. Maybe there's like inconsistent communication. He makes jokes about your finances or things that are really not funny to you. Maybe they disappear for a few days and then return with like some vague excuse rather than explaining what happened. And then the best is maybe acting like nothing did happen. And then instead of you walking away, you rationalize their behavior. Oh, they probably went through something. Like he's going through a lot. Five is chasing the wrong person. Example would be like you keep investing your time and energy into a man that is just not giving back to you. You get mixed signals. You're the one initiating conversation. And deep down, you know that they're not prioritizing you. So basically, when we look at these that we just talked about, we're noticing a pattern, right? We're noticing that we're not being put first. We're not feeling comfortable and safe emotionally in our body. He's not nurturing our emotions. He's not making us feel safe. We are overgiving, we're making excuses, and we're not setting boundaries. We need to understand there's an abundance of men, and we need to cut off the ones immediately that are just not giving us what we want to get. I mean, yes, try to have a conversation with them at first, and if they just don't reciprocate in the way that you want, it's done. Cut it. Let it go. Reflect on it. Where can I learn? Like this past date that I just went on, I really learned of like, my body started to say no after like a week of no communication because we had long distance and he was busy. I should have just canceled the date because my body was saying, no, you deserve more. And on the date, I could feel an emotional disconnection. Even though we felt connected, I felt like a wall. And like after reflecting of like, that will never happen again, right? Like, do you feel the power that I just took back in that moment? Yes, we learn our lessons, but we need to be reflecting on the men that come into our life. And we need to stop settling for bare minimum. Like, I attract incredible men, like incredible, beautiful, like take initiative, protectors, providers, like divine masculine men. But we still need to fine tune, right? Because the more we fine tune, the more we get clarity on the type of man we are truly manifesting and calling into our life, right? Like I can feel it so close. I feel it so closely, yet I have no attachment. So for me, it was just really taking back the power of I deserve to be such a priority. I don't care about distance. I've never done a long distance kind of thing anyway. I had no attachment on it anyway, but we need to be reflecting. So I would like go back to what we just talked about and really look at like you in the dating space and how well you're setting boundaries. First of all, I don't tolerate disrespect. There's certain things that I just do not tolerate even for a second, but this was a new one for me. I've never done like a long distance type of thing. Right? So I didn't really know how to work it out or like how it felt in my body. But what now that I've gone through the process and looking back, my body let me know, right? A few days before the date, it was like this, I think this might be just a no. Even though like my mind was like, oh, but there's like a list of good qualities, it's a no. So now I know next time, like cutting it off, like it's savage energy because as a sovereign woman, right? I hold my ground of what I deserve because who's going to give it to me if I don't have a standard? And once I hold this standard and I'm soft and loving and open and receiving, that's when those type of men show up because they're ready to give that to me. But I have to be ready to receive that. They love to play every time I sit down to film. Look, they're just ready. No, we're not playing. So there's nothing wrong with you if these types of things are happening, but we need to bring in reflection to fine tune. It's just like when I help women grow their business and be in their feminine energy. We are constantly refining. Do you think all of this stuff is going to go away after 20 years of marriage? Absolutely not. We are going to continue to refine, right? Even though I'm a feminine embodiment coach, a mentor, whatever you want to call me, this is why I don't believe in trying to be like this perfect role model that a lot of people show. Like they never show what they're really going through or how they're showing up because we're never going to reach this perfect place unless you're enlightened and living in a mountain and like so far off the grid. Like we are constantly learning, and this is such a beautiful, it's so beautiful to learn these lessons, right? I'm so grateful for this lesson because I feel so empowered as a woman now. Not only I get to have fun with a cool dude, but I learned such a beautiful, empowering lesson. Do you not feel my energy? So don't be hard on yourself for these things, but take back your power by going inward and refining and setting those boundaries, right? So now the next man that comes in, right? The next man that comes in, I'm gonna be more aware of this. And I've been doing this work for so long. I mean, it's so like it's always like the most minute little things, and it's very rare that something like this happens. And I'm also very picky with the type of man that I will settle down with. Like I have very high standards, and we all should have high standards. Like I'm not just looking for a boyfriend, or like I teach divine union. Like I believe I have a soul partner that's going to come in my life at a certain time. So this is my lesson. This is what I'm teaching. This is what I want you to embody so that you can enjoy and trust your journey of love, because it really, really involves a lot of trust, right? Okay, let me pull out my handy dandy little notes. Now let's talk about how to heal from settling, because I love talking about healing, because we can't have the light without going in the dark. So number one, and the most important, is healing your self-worth. So self-worth is like, I feel like it's like self-love. It gets thrown around a lot, but self-worth really comes in when we stop settling for less than we deserve. And this is huge in my work of why I am so called to empower women, because there is so much in life that I just do not settle for, right? But still, do you notice how even on the date, I found a new thing of what I'm not willing to settle for, right? So we're always finding new ways of building up our self-worth even more, right? It's been a journey of my self-worth over the years of trauma healing, into tantric yoga, into embodiment work, into feminine energy, right? I've constantly built up this woman that I have become. and why I attract the men I do, why I attract the abundance I do, why I attract soulmate clients the way I do, why I love every minute of my life, because I have built and put in the energy of my self-worth. I have reflected, right? I didn't just finish the day like, oh, it didn't work out. No, he's not my person. Like, no, I reflected. Okay, what did I love? What do I want more of? What didn't feel good in my body? Why? And then I took back all that power for my self-worth. We need to heal this part of us that knows we are worthy for what we desire. I know I'm worthy of millions of dollars. I know I'm worthy of the type of love that people just look at and see, and it's like, oh my God, you can feel their energy, where we just love and we build an empire together and we are doing things in the world together. I know I'm worthy of that. I will never settle for less, right? How determined are you? Because I see people I love in partnerships that are settling for so much less, and it breaks my heart. So where are you settling for less? Yes, we have arguments and stuff, but how does your partner communicate with you? Does it make you feel safe? Does it make you feel seen? No matter what is coming up between you, do you feel like you're questioning the love, right? There's certain things that we should just not question in partnership. Also, in building your self-worth is really trusting your intuition in dating. This is why in Feminine Codes in Love and Dating, I teach you embodiment, right? We let go of all the rules, all the myths, because those just cloud our judgment of love, right? When we're creating these stories and projections of like, what is outcome? Is this my person? Is my person? Rather than just being in our body, like, how does this feel? Is this a no? Is this a yes? Right? And for instance, we're going to use my example on the date. My body at one point was like, this is a no, but because I had never experienced it, I overrode it with my mind of like, no, but he's far, like he's busy. It's fine. It's a long distance, right? I made up an excuse, but then I went back to Feminine Codes. I'm like, but my body was telling me, right? So we need to learn to use our body so it can move faster, right? Because now me and him are not talking anymore, right? It's done. It's tapped, right? It's not happening. Like after this unwinded, it's just not gonna happen. So like, how fast is your rebound rate? It's not about being perfect. In my space, we let go of perfection of space, we let go of perfection, right? We are here in life to learn, but we want to have a faster rebound rate from those learning experiences. So one date, I knew, like it was fun. It was a lot of fun, but it's just not it. I deserve so much more. Where are you in your intuition in dating, fully tapped into your body, right? So you need to let go of all the patterns, all the myths, all the stories, and get your intuition in your body. Intuition is just a clear knowing. There's no question. There's no doubt. It's no like, oh, maybe I should. Oh, maybe no, it's like, is this man for me or not? Yes or no. So if you don't get a clear answer, you need to be clearing out the energy daily, weekly, monthly. Like I constantly am doing practices to clear my emotions and my energy so I can be so tapped into the intuition of my body. Because the more tapped in I am, the better men I draw in, the more money I draw in, right? Constantly moving up. But this needs to be clear. So that's one of the steps that we need to take to heal these patterns. So what are some of the patterns that show up that stop us from owning this self-worth? Fear of abandonment is probably one of the big ones. It was one of my biggest wounds back in the day. How this shows up in abandonment in dating is self-abandonment. That is the only thing you need to know, and bringing the awareness to that. So what does this look like? If he's not giving me what I desire, I'm going to self-abandon and make an excuse for him. Well, he's too busy, he's this, but rather than feeling into my body, okay, how does this feel to me? How does he feel to me? How does this experience feel to me? Bringing the energy back. We self-abandon because we're worried he's gonna leave. We're worried about the abandonment. So we're willing to self-abandon. So we're not abandoned, but really we're just messing up the whole situation. This is like one of the biggest things I help in my clients in my Radiant Woman program, is I help them bring back all of their power into their body, get out of people pleaser mode, and stop self-abandoning. So fear of abandonment is one of the biggest wounds, and low self-esteem. So we already kind of talked about a lot about self-esteem, but really building your self-worth of what you are worthy for, even if it's uncomfortable at first. Like, I want you to make a list of like what type of man you are looking for. And if the men don't come in and show up that way, then bye. Like, thank you. Bless and release. That's what I say every time after a man comes into my life. Bless and release. I also teach in my feminine codes, like I am not a dater that goes on a ton of dates because I need to find a man and I need to learn a lot. Like I let God bring in certain men at certain times. They come in at very divine timing to teach me a lesson for me to grow and expand and see what I want more of, what I don't want, right? And I build more and more self-worth through it. We work through vulnerability. We work through self-abandonment. We need to be releasing these patterns and be willing to be uncomfortable. Inner child work is fabulous for this. I love inner child work. I did inner child work like a week and a half ago. Something came up and I had to sit with like 2 parts of my little girl that were coming up and nurture them and love them and be with them. I'm actually going to be creating an anxious to secure attachment style video and a avoidant to secure attachment style. They're going to be like small little offerings, so stay tuned for that because that's going to be really great for inner child work with dating to help you become a secure woman who isn't like anxiously waiting for men to text her back or waiting for men or holding on to outcome, right? We want to be a sovereign woman. We want to be in our power. In feminine codes of love and dating, this is where I teach you all about being in your magnetic energy, and also forgiveness. Forgiving yourself for not knowing better. So if you've settled for men that do not treat you good and it really hurts you of how much you have settled, write yourself a letter and then burn it. I could have beat myself up over this past date. Like, how could you not know? Get it. It can be so light. It's a learning experience. Nothing has to be that serious. We're here to grow, we're here to love, we're here to play, and even on the date, I gave my best practice. I was so loving, so open, yet I had no desire of outcome. I was like, cool, okay, this was fun, great. I put myself out there, like had fun, had no attachment. I was in my own body, in my own pleasure. I felt so cute, right? So forgive yourself for not knowing better. It's okay, you don't need to be perfect. You're here on this earth to learn. You're never going to stop learning. Might as well just enjoy the learning experiences. Because even when your partner does come in, you are going to be learning new things and new things will start to come up and you'll have to do inner child work for that, for partnership. So enjoy where you're at right now. Next part is let's recognize our limiting beliefs. Because a lot of the time women settle for less than they deserve because of limiting beliefs. A big one is I have to settle for less in order to find love. Like there's never gonna be another man like this. Oh my God, that's my favorite. There's never gonna be another man like this. He has everything I'm looking for, but there's still that one little thing that's like, that doesn't really feel good. No, like it should all fall perfectly into place, right? If it doesn't feel good, it's not meant to be, right? If it doesn't feel good, it's not meant to be. Having the limiting belief of there's just not enough men out there. I have to settle for less to have love. Like, no, this is the season I'm gonna have a partner. And then I'm gonna get into a relationship, right? Not consciously, we're gonna subconsciously ignore the red flags because this is the season I get into a relationship. I'm in control as the woman. And let go of all the good men are taken. There are so many amazing men. Every man I have talked to or gone on dates with is so amazing. It has literally, I'm just like, what the heck? Like how many, you know what I think sometimes? I'm like, how many soulmates on the earth do I have? Like these men are so awesome. But you know what? I know I'm awesome and that's why I'm attracting it. I know how special I am, but I also know the type of love that I want and I deserve, right? Self-worth. So every man that comes in, I'm just like, okay, really using my body. How does this really feel? Right? And as a woman, since I purify my intuition, my oracle is so intense. I can feel when a man has emotional blocks. I can feel when something is being hidden, right? I can feel into the field of the dating. So like my man that comes in has to have the deepest, most authentic presence and has like fearless communication in order to penetrate my field. Like I know when people are meant for me. Like the best friends that I have in my life, I knew instantly when I met them, I was like, this is gonna be my best friend. I could feel their energy in my field. That is the gift of the feminine. You have that too. You are a natural born oracle. We just need to purify our bodies from these thoughts and emotions and patterns that block us from trusting this, right? Like the man I went on a date with, I knew there was like a deep, like I felt something with him, and he has so many qualities that I was looking for. But what I also felt was like an emotional block, right? And I could feel it on the date and then how it unfolded. And that's not what I'm looking for, but that's okay. It just showed me, okay, so how can I clarify my energy, taking full responsibility, full sovereignty of why I attracted that? And how can I shift that? Oh, I need to be a priority, one, like a massive priority in someone's life. Like I need to be number one. And then also I deserve high quality communication, no matter the distance, right? So I've never had like a long distance type of thing where I actually got to make an excuse for a man, which I've never done. So that really cleared my field, right? So thank you God for that lesson, right? And then what do we say when a man leaves our lives? Bless and release. Bless and release. Like, thank you for that divine experience. Everything is a beautiful experience, right? Every time we're taking more of our power back and we're fine tuning. So it's always, what did I learn? How can I grow? Bringing all the energy back to us. And eventually the right man's going to come in and he's going to pursue us, right? Things are going to fall perfectly into place. He's going to pursue us. But until then, we're constantly clearing our field as women. We're clearing our oracle. We're tapping deeper into our body, right? We're up leveling our attraction, right? It's just this constant opening and unfolding of love. So we need to set very clear boundaries in dating. Boundaries are essential for self-respect. I only engage with people who treat me extremely well. Like, not everyone has access to my phone number, right? I keep my space very clear, right? Like the people that are in my space respect me because I respect myself and I do not tolerate anything less. We do not tolerate inconsistency. We address disrespect right away. I remember I was on a date one time and it was so small, but I made a comment. He had a car. He had like this nice new BMW. And I got in his car. I was like, ooh, this is a nice BMW. I was like, I want to get one. And he's like, no, you're not. I was done. I never saw him again. I don't need to talk about it. Like, you either respect me or you don't. I set a clear boundary, hard boundary right away with certain things, right? This is how we need to be in life. Like, the more boundaries we set without closing our heart, but like, no, this person doesn't know how to treat me or love me or respect me, like, bless and release, right? We're clearing the field for the right people who want to be in our energy and in our space and in our love and in our abundance are welcome, but we need to clear the space. And this also involves being intentional with who you date. So I worked with a very famous, I call him a normie coach because I do tantric yoga, and then I also have done like spiritual coaching dating with a very famous woman. But this one man that I worked with, like, he wanted me to go on a date every single week. And I was like, what? This is just does not feel good in my body. He's like, yeah, you need to get a 10 out of 10 date. And the man needs to do this, this, and this, and this, and this. And he was teaching us how to have feminine communication to get the man to take us on the date and then take us to do something fun after. And I didn't go on one while in his program. It was so hard for me to even do his program, which I ended up just stopping. But I teach, because this is all my years of dating and all my years of training in dating, is the feminine codes in love and dating of intentional dating for union with your man. I am so intentional with the men that I give my time to. I got asked out on a date on New Year's Day, and this man wanted to take me out. And long story short, I ended up saying yes at one point, and it was a yes. And then he texted me, hey, how was your day? And my body had a visceral response of a no. Like, it was a no, hard no in my body. And I told him right away, my mind wants to go on a date with you, but my body is a no to a date with you. So I'm so sorry. Like, I have to cancel. Actually, I did not say I'm so sorry. I said I have to cancel. I wish you nothing but the best. I know that you're a really good man. And he was fine with it. Like, I'm always honest, but we need to be very intentional with who we date, because we're receiving and giving energy during that date, right? Our nervous systems are regulating or dysregulating. And you could be doing something in your life. You could be with friends. You could be with your doggies. You could be in your purpose. So being intentional, right? It keeps your intuition and your embodiment clear. And that's the goal, is clarity in your embodiment. We don't want to just like it's like cooking a meal and putting a ton of spices and being like, why can I not taste the rosemary? Well, there's cayenne and there's this and there's dill and but I really want rosemary. Okay, well then let's fine tune. Like, let's not put so many spices, right? We need to clear more energy rather than just putting in like serial dating of like, I've heard friends tell me like, just go get a free dinner. Go get a free dinner. No, we need to let go of all of that. Like, we need to be appreciative when men are spending money on us, right? And it should be a gift for a man to spend an evening with you. So the men that do come in that feel good, be like, yeah, I do want to go on a date with you, and let it feel good, and then learn what you need to learn, or let it be what it wants to be, however long it wants to be, a week or 2 weeks, a month, a few years, like forever, right? Embody your confidence and self-worth on the journey of love. And lastly, I want to say practice patience. There's no rush. There's no time. There's no she's in love, I'm not in love. We need to really let go of time and be okay in our own journey of love, surrender to love, surrender to what we need to learn. You know, I came into this world with a lot of trauma. Like, I trust so much, like knowing the type of partner I know I'm meant to be with, that I'm going through everything I need to do, plus the work I do, right? All of this gives me learning experience to help more and more people. Without it, I would not have the experience and the trainings to bring it to you, to fine tune for you, right? So I'm so grateful for it. So patience, trust in your journey, right? Rather than where is he, ask, how can I love myself more in this moment? How could I make my life so much more delicious in this moment? Bring all of the energy back to you. And that's everything I teach in Feminine Codes in Love and Dating. It's 6 modules. It has everything you need: pre-date rituals, feminine embodiment, how to create polarity, like letting go of all the myths and stories that you've created that could be blocking love. It's such a magical course. It will change everything for you in love and dating. I hope this helps you embody more self-worth and confidence and reflection, and let go of being perfect and have patience, because the journey of love is so fun, right? I mean, just looking back on my journey, it's been so long, and it's just been so fun to get to the point where I am of like no attachment and attracting beautiful men. And yet my intuition in my body says my man is so close. Because the men that come in get closer and closer, and then you just fine tune. It's like the abundance in your business, right? When we fine tune the feminine energy and the way you're showing up, the money just rolls in, right? It's the same thing. So fine tune your self-worth, the way you're showing up in dating. Go check out my Feminine Codes in Love and Dating, and have patience and trust yourself and trust your intuition. I love you, and I will see you next time.